All right, let's talk about combining tax and tip. Remember, whenever we're combining steps, take a deep breath, think positively. Remember, you've learned how to do tax, you've learned how to do tip. We're combining them, so there are a few more steps, but take it one step at a time and try your best not to get overwhelmed. If you say that it's too hard and you can't do it, it's gonna feel too hard, but you've got this. So let's see what we're doing when we're combining tax and tip. So, combining tax and tip is very similar to things we've done before, like combining tax and discount, but there's a bit of a difference here. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna calculate our tip or gratuity. Remember, those are the same thing, tip and gratuity. We're gonna calculate the tip on the original amount. So whatever we're paying for, say we're paying for food and that food costs $20, we're gonna calculate the tip based on that $20. We're also going to calculate the tax on the original amount, so that $20. The thing is that our server, let's say we're at a restaurant and we're tipping our server, they don't help us with our taxes. So we're not going to pay taxes on the tip and the original like we do with tax and discount. We're only going to pay taxes on what we paid for in food. So what you're gonna do is after you calculate the tip based on the original and calculate the tax on the original amount, you're gonna add these together. The original amount, let's say that was $20. Let's say you paid $3 in tax and $5 in tip. You'd add those together to find your total, which would be $28. I'm going to show you an example of this so that it makes more sense, but what I really need you to remember is that you're calculating the tip based on the original and you're calculating the tax based on the original. So let's look at an example. It says Marcy got breakfast with her mom. Their food bill was $45. Circle my numbers. Then they tipped their waiter 20% and paid 7% tax on their meal. What was the total cost of their breakfast? So I drew these three words. They're on your notes. Those might not be on there on a test or even a worksheet we do in class. So I would label food, tax, and tip so you make sure that you have everything you need. All right, my food was $45. My tax is 7%. Make sure that you put them in the right order. And my tip was 20%. So I'm gonna start my calculations now. All right, so I have two separate things. I have my tax, and I'll do that one first. I'm gonna set up my proportions. I have $45 was my whole entire bill. That was the total, so part over whole. And then I have 7 over 100, because I have always do percent over 100. So when I cross multiply and divide that, I get $3.15. So my tax at 7% is $3.15. Now I'm going to calculate the tip. I'm still using $45 because I'm using the original amount. These two should match. They should be the same. The percentage is different though. I'm doing 20% tip. So my percentage always goes over 100. I'm going to cross multiply and divide. When I do that, I get $9. $9 is my tip. And I forgot to label up here, but there's my tip. So I found that on 7% of $45 is $3.15, and that's what I'm paying in tax. I found that 20% of $45 was $9. That's my tip. Now I just have to add it all together to figure out how much I paid for breakfast. So $45 plus $3.15 plus that $9. So I have my tax and my tip and my original food amount. If I add all three of those together in my calculator, I would get $57.15. That's how much money I paid in total. So remember, when you're calculating tax and tip or gratuity, you have to find the tax and tip percentages based off the original amount. They should match. That's the main thing you need to focus on. This is in your notes. You have 3 examples in your notes worked out, and we also have the class PowerPoint with some visuals and examples to look at.